Shannon has a question for us.
What is the number one thing professional organizers recommend to prevent unnecessary items from coming into my house in the first place?
Good question. I'm on the edge of my seat. Julia's answer.
You talked about this briefly with the paper clutter there a moment ago. One thing that I do is I have an app called Paper Karma. This is not an ad, not sponsored. I don't know these people, but it's helped me eliminate a lot of the junk mail that comes into my house because it unsubscribes you from all of these different junk mail lists. And so Paper Karma has eliminated probably 90% of the junk mail, which, let's face it, the post office is now just a junk mail distribution service.
It's unbelievable.
I very rarely get something in the mail where I'm like, yay!
Right. Right.
And yet every day I'm bombarded with someone else's burden, someone else's clutter. And so is there a professional organizer solution for non-paper clutter?
Yeah. So for me, I always like talking about my own experience with clutter and what has helped me personally. So I don't know what all professional organizers will say. However, for me, when I really decided to eliminate debt, get on a plan with my husband, I'm a big fan of Dave Ramsey, and we use the Every Dollar Free app, which I also am not, get nothing for saying that. When I started logging every purchase that I made, and when our family started doing that, what came into the home really started changing.
Oh, yeah.
Like everything in my life changed when we had to do that. When I tell people that I did that, some of them look at me like, you are crazy. I could never do this. Or I can't even imagine sharing this information with my spouse. I'm like, how can you not be sharing this information? I didn't do that for years though. And I was just buying, getting nowhere. So for me, that is what has helped me incredibly. And I often share that story with other people, is that it prevents a lot of stuff coming in because I am physically logging it. I have the free version where you have to log it. It doesn't auto go from the bank account, which makes me even more mindful of everything I purchase. So before I click the instant buy on Amazon, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to be putting this into every dollar.
Right.
Did I budget for this? Do I really want to do this right now? That has helped me so much. So that's usually what I share with people, is that mindfulness about purchasing, and also just having that plan in your family.
Yeah. No, I use the Every Dollar app as well. And I totally agree. Like there are some times where I won't buy something because I don't want to have to take out my phone, open up the app, put it in. Yeah, there's a little resistance there.
Yeah.
But I thought about getting the free version too. It's funny you say that because I'm like, I don't want it to be automated. Like I want the pain of having to manually do this.
You want to add that little bit of friction because there's this common misconception. I want to remove all the friction from my life. I want my life to be seamless and easy all the time. When you remove all the friction, what you do is you lose traction. It's like to remove friction on the road, you just put ice all over the road, black ice, and you're sliding all over the place from guardrail to guardrail. You're going to crash without any traction at all. And so what you're talking about is just adding a little bit of friction that gives you the traction you need to avoid bringing those excess things into your home.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy this standalone Patreon highlight? If so, you can listen to full episodes of the Minimalist Private Podcast, available exclusively on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/theminimalists or click the link in the description. Your support keeps our podcast and YouTube channel 100% advertisement free.